What's up, people? Welcome back to another delicious edition. Today on Everything Vegan, we are doing butter. All right? Yes, butter. Can you believe it? We're actually going to make our own butter from scratch. I mean, before I became vegan, I actually made butter. I was working in a restaurant and we ran out of butter during service and we had to make our own butter. So I jumped on the computer, looked up a few different ideas, and then we literally took some heavy cream and we made butter, right? So now that I am vegan, I can do the same procedure, the same process to create butter. So this is why I felt it's super important to show you how to make butter that is 100% plant-based. All right, so stick with me. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be short and sweet. And what can I say besides the fact that it's gonna be really good? All right. So for everyone joining in today, I want to say welcome. My name is Ed Harris, and I am your host of the Everything Vegan channel here on Kitsch. And I just show you really delicious, tasty ideas and recipes that you can use for your family, friends, etc., etc. All right. I've showed you how to make delicious mayonnaise. I've showed you how to do, and this is from scratch, of course, right? All kinds of dips, dressings, vinaigrettes. So today I was like, well, not today because we planned this ahead of time, but I was like, we need to do butter because there's certain things in the plant-based world that just facilitates delicious food. And one of those things is mayonnaise, and another one is butter because I love butter and I love bread, and those two things just they go really well together. So, you know, here we are because the more you the more you start to look and pay attention into what you're eating and what you're putting into your body, you start to read more labels. And when you start to actually see what's on the labels and what's actually being put into the food, and then all of the stories you hear about what's actually being allowed to be put into the food and the amounts that is okay for consumption is just kind of crazy. So I just want to bring to you things that you can make at home so you know exactly what it is that you're putting into your body, what you're giving to your children, because these are the ideas and the things that your kids and your family are going to see, and then they're going to show everyone else and just continue that trend of really healthy eating, right? So without further ado, my name is Ed Harris. Once again, I want to welcome you to the Everything Vegan channel. And today, let's jump into some vegan butter. All right. Now, a few things before we get started, right? You need some kind of emulsifier when you're making butter, right? Or mayonnaise, plant-based. So my emulsifier is the flax seeds that I have right here sitting in a little bit of water. So it's almost like a paste right now. So this is going to be what I use to help everything stay together, right? And create that nice, beautiful whip situation. And the other thing is we're using a form of buttermilk, a plant-based form of buttermilk. So I have my oat milk in here. And what I did was I took a little bit of apple cider vinegar and I added to my milk. So this is how we're going to create buttermilk. All right. It creates that idea, that effect, and it gives that flavor that we're looking for. All right. Because buttermilk, butter, churned butter, like it's a beautiful thing. So that's the idea here today. Now, a few things I want to touch on. One, we're adding nutritional yeast. This is going to give us flavor. All right. It's also going to give us some B vitamins, right? And then the secret ingredient here is turmeric. This is going to give our butter that beautiful yellow color that you see most butter have, right? We have our sea salt, of course, for flavor. I have some extra virgin olive oil, and I have coconut oil. Now, can you make butter with just straight up vegetable oil? 100% you can. Coconut oil is healthier, so I chose to go that route. But you can totally omit coconut oil if you are allergic to it or if you have you just don't like coconut oil and you want to go with a more neutral oil, you can totally do that. All right. So that's the ingredients that we have today. Super simple, super quick. I will say this: you must. This is just as important as the ingredients that you pick. You have to have a high-speed blender. All right. This is not going to be possible without it. If you try to do this without a high-speed blender and you use a blender that does not have the power that these kind of machines have, you will end up with something like an aioli, which is like a very loose mayonnaise base kind of thing. And it'll taste good, but it just will not be butter. All right. It's not going to set up and it's not going to get firm in a refrigerator when you put it away. It's going to stay loose. So if you want to do that, then that's totally fine. But just FYI, you need a high speed blender. All right. Bullets might work if you do a small recipe, but I rather do it in this, put everything in one shot, buzz it until it gets nice and thick, transfer it, and we're transferring it to a nice glass container so you can see it. It looks beautiful, and just what it is. All right. So are you ready to make butter? Yes. Now, when you're loading up your machine, you want to make sure that you always go with your liquid ingredients first. All right. And the thing is, if you're to put your dry stuff in first, sometimes it tends to stay on the bottom and cake up when you put the wet stuff on top, and then it doesn't puree properly and you don't get a nice emulsification of everything. All right. So you definitely want to pick the ingredients that you're putting in first. So we're going to put in our apple cider flavored milk first. All right. Then we're going to go with our olive oil. And I already have this recipe up and loaded. I'm possibly going to tweak it again because that's just how I roll. Ideas come to me last minute, and sometimes I change things right on the fly because, like I said, that's just how I roll. All right. So we have our milk in, we have our extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to add the flax seeds in right now. All right. A lot of things going on there, but it's my laptop. So flax seeds are in. Now we can add our dry. All right. So nutritional yeast, turmeric. So excited about this. And you can do smoked paprika as well. That'll also give it color and a beautiful flavor. You know what I mean? Our salt is going in. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this on. All right. And I'm going to take off the top. Now, we could just pour all of this in and buzz it. I have done that before, and I'd say 8, 9 out of 10 times it'll work perfectly fine. But sometimes you might create little clumps or it just might not mix properly. So to avoid that, I like to just kind of drizzle in the coconut oil in, and it doesn't have to be a slow pour, but just enough where you can kind of whip it really good so you get that emulsification that we're looking for. All right, so blender on, okay? And we're gonna put this on slow just to get it started. All right. And once we see everything kind of mixed up, then we can turn up the speed and drizzle in the oil. Now, this is going to be liquid when it's done, which is totally fine. All right. It becomes butter once it gets cold in the refrigerator. So we're going to just pour this in to our container. See, it's nice. It's one color. It has the exact color of butter right now, which is great. All right. So that's it. I put a lid on this. All right. And this goes into the refrigerator and we let it set. And in a couple hours. I would give it 24 hours, depending on how thick your container is, depending on how much of a recipe you made. But this, I would say maybe 6 hours, it'll be ready to go. But I don't want it to still be soft when I go to use it. So I just let it sit until tomorrow. Like, for instance, we did this now, it's 2 o'clock. I will mess around with it like 9 o'clock in the morning or something, for breakfast. It'll be ready for breakfast. All right. So you can make butter the night before and it'll be ready for you in time for breakfast in the morning. Just like that. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Short and sweet. 10 minutes to make butter, not even. It's literally less than 10 minutes. You could probably do this in 5 minutes if you have everything portioned out and ready to go. If you have any questions, hit me up. You know where to find me. I'm on Kitch. And that's what it is, right? So until next time, I am working on some really cool recipes for this month. We're going to be doing pizza. We're going to be doing lasagna. We're going to be doing fried rice. We're going to be doing stir fry. We're going to be doing some really yummy stuff. So make sure that you stay tuned. All right. There's an easy way for you to get alerted when I'm doing my recipes. You can just go to my channel and click on Save My Spot. This way you'll be alerted by an email once I'm ready to send out. Well, not once I'm ready to send out, but once I'm going live, you'll get an alert. Boom, join Chef Ed, and you'll be here. All right. Comment down below if there's anything in particular you want to see. A different flavored butter. We can do roasted garlic. We can do garlic butter. We can do herb butter. I mean, just hit me up. All right. I'm here for you, ladies and gentlemen. So until next time, remember to eat well, be well, and cook well. All right. Later, everybody.